Hello, YouTubers. Well, here we are on the verge of 2019, which means it's time to say goodbye to 2018. And what a year for movies. There were certainly a lot. I know I went to see a ton this year. So I thought what I should do is give you the top 10 worst films of 2018 and the top 10 best films of 2018, all in one video. Not going to do separate ones. And of course, this is just my opinion. A lot of you will agree on some of the numbers, and I'm sure a lot of you will disagree. Perfectly fine. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts. So here we go. We're going to start with the top 10 worst films of 2018, and leading off, number 10, Death Wish. This is starring Bruce Willis and is yet another remake because Hollywood just can't come up with any original ideas anymore. I honestly was looking forward to seeing Death Wish. I love Bruce Willis. To quote a high school buddy of mine, dude, I love Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is awesome. I love Bruce Willis. And I thought this is going to be a great film for Bruce. I knew it was a remake. I wasn't wild about that, but I thought they would definitely give it a little more modern, vibe to it, and it failed in my opinion. I did not enjoy it. And if you look at the numbers, audiences didn't really like it either. All right, now coming in at number 9 is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I was very let down, very disappointed with this film. Jurassic World, thought it was a good film. Not my favorite in the Jurassic Park series, but it definitely gave me hope for this franchise. And to be honest, if you saw the previews, the trailers, any of that for Fallen Kingdom, it gave everything away. There was no shock, there was no suspense. I knew everything that was going to happen in the movie thanks to the trailers, and it was just CGI galore. Just way too much of that crap. Didn't enjoy the film. Number 8 is going to be The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch. Kind of had high hopes for the film. At the same time, I didn't really have high hopes. I thought they would do a lot better job than they did on this film. There was a lot of good parts to it, colorful, really great, images, animation, but the story just got really boring with how they went about executing this, and I don't see how kids could really get into it. I think adults probably like it more than the kids, but it's geared toward that child audience, and most people I talked to, most people that I saw it with, it just seemed like everybody, whatever. It was kind of boring. Disappointed film. Alright, now a lot of people are gonna beat me for this one, but coming in at number 7 in the worst films of 2018 is Solo, a Star Wars story. Folks, there's only one Han Solo, and for me, there's only 3 Star Wars films, the originals. I am so sick and tired of all these prequels and all these sequels to the original trilogy. Let it go, let it die. You just can't live up to the originals. And here is yet another prequel. My opinion, you're not going to be able to get into the movie because okay, Han's not going to die. Okay, Han's going to get the Millennium Falcon. Okay, Han's going to meet Lando. You already know certain aspects behind this film, so there's no real threat or sense of danger like you would have had in the original films. But people want to see this stuff, and studios know they can continue making lots of money, so they keep cranking them out. I'm not a fan. Number 6. Speaking of sequels, The Predator. Highly disappointed in this film. I thought if anybody could get the franchise back on the right track, it would be the director Shane Black, and I'm afraid he has just killed this franchise. There was a few good moments in the film and some action, but overall, when you want to get political and start preaching in a Predator movie, I'm checking out, I'm done. And even if they didn't do that, it just really failed to capture what made the original film so great. And if it was going to happen, I feel like now would have been the time. And it sucked. End of story. Number 5 is Tomb Raider. Here we have another attempt to try and push the social justice warrior agenda, and it just ain't working for me. This film is very similar, in my opinion, to The Force Awakens as far as the plot and things that happen, and it just didn't really do much. I know there's a lot of people that thought it was very well done. I am not one of those. Disappointing film, not exciting, completely unrealistic, just not good. Number 4 should come as no surprise because I don't know anybody that actually enjoyed this film. The Happy Time Murders, alright, when you have these puppets, Muppets, and you're putting them in the real world with human beings, you really can't have any high expectations. But I thought, alright, I'm going to give it a chance, not going in there thinking it's going to be great. Thinking, well, maybe with that attitude it might be pretty good, there might be some funny moments. This film just was trash all the way around. Such a horrible movie. Really didn't enjoy it. I don't know anybody that did. Sucked. Coming in at number 3, a movie I really look forward to. A film that was highly disappointing. It is actually my very first film review for YouTube, The Nun. The Nun, based off the Conjuring series. We saw The Nun in the second Conjuring film. She was a highlight of that movie, and she gets her own film and she's in it no more than 5 minutes. All the great jump scares that universe is infamous for, showed everything, gave it away in the trailers. The movie really failed miserably. Now, I have to be honest with you. I said this is a top 10, but the number 2 spot, these films are so equally bad, I cannot assign just one. I'm going to have to use the number 2 spot for 2 films. They are Strangers Pray at Night and Hellfest. Strangers Pray at Night was incredibly awful. I enjoyed the first Strangers. This one just bombed. It had potential, and when I'm told, okay, there's going to be some John Carpenter style references, and it's going to be a Carpenter-like film, and I see where they tried to do that, but it failed miserably. This film was a disgrace. It's horrible. And Hellfest. Love the concept of the movie, but it is probably the most cliche film I have seen all year. So predictable, not the least bit scary, just flat out dumb. And finally, drum roll, the worst movie of 2018, number 1, I am giving this to Overlord. It may not be the worst film, but it had so much potential. My expectations for this film were so high. I loved the concept behind this story. The way the filmmakers talked about what they were going to do made this seem like it was going to be one of the best movies of 2018 for me. It was god-awful. I wasn't scared. I literally was laughing at parts that were supposed to be scary. And how dare you use the music of AC/DC, the world's greatest band, in your trailer and then have such a piece of crap film. Shame on you. Overlord, worst film of 2018. And now it is time for the top 10 best movies of 2018. And leading off at number 10, Upgrade. While I was not wild about this film, it was honestly a decent movie. You take basically every 80s science fiction action type film, blend them together, and you get Upgrade. They made it very modern. It was something I could relate to, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Not a bad film. I'm not going to buy it by any means, but it was a nice surprise. Number 9. This is difficult for me to put in the best films of the year because it is probably the most disappointed I was in a movie because my expectations were through the roof for this film. It is Halloween 2018. John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween is my favorite film of all time. And the other Halloween sequels just seem to get further and further away from what made the original film so great. So when they said, we're going to go back to the roots, we're going to pay tribute to Carpenter's film, and we're going to make it in that style, I was doing backflips. I was ecstatic. And I thought this movie was going to hit it out of the park. And it didn't. It was okay. There was a lot of great things about the film. There was a lot that disappointed me. But I would still say overall I was able to watch it and enjoy certain aspects. So I will put it at number 9. Number 8 is a film that starred and was directed by one of my all-time favorites. He's top 3, Clint Eastwood. The film is The Mule. And while I would not consider this one of the best Eastwood movies of all time, it's a good film. And go see this movie for no other reason other than the fact that you are witnessing an 88-year-old man not only direct, but be in over 90% of the scenes. Most impressive, Mr. Eastwood. Number 7 was a film that starred another one of my all-time favorites, top 3, Kurt frickin' Russell, and he was starring in The Christmas Chronicles. While the film is not mind-blowing by any means, it is a great holiday film. It's going to become a new tradition for so many people to watch this film every year, and Kurt has given us probably the best Santa Claus of all time. Good family movie. Now, number 6 stars one of the best actors of all time. It is a sequel. First sequel this actor has ever done. The Equalizer 2, starring Denzel Washington. And I go back and forth as to whether I like The Equalizer better or The Equalizer 2. All I know is I thoroughly enjoyed watching this film. Each time I see it, I like it more and more. It's hard to go wrong with the Denzel Washington movie. I think what made this film so special is because it really went in and showed you this character a little more behind the scenes. You got to see another side of him that you didn't in the first movie. It's got some great characters, some good action scenes. It's a good movie. Now, number 5, I know it's going to disappoint a lot of people that it wasn't higher on my list. Avengers Infinity War. I enjoyed the film. I think it's good. It's probably one of my favorite Marvel films. I was disappointed in the film at the same time. I know a lot of people think that's crazy, but for me, waiting 10 years for this build-up and what we got, I was a little let down. There are some epic moments in this film. Josh Brolin knocks it out of the park as Thanos, and we finally got to see Thor be the god of thunder. He has some epic moments in this movie, and his relationship with Rocket Raccoon, that was the best part of the movie. I want to see Thor and Rocket get their own film. Now, coming in at number 4, I'd heard so much greatness from this movie before I saw it. It was talked up that, oh, it's going to clean house at the Oscars. And this just the best movie this year by far. And I definitely enjoyed it. A Star is Born. I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I think she needs to be taken home Best Actress of the Year. This is a great movie, great story. I feel like everybody who's seen this film likes it. It's not one I would have to buy, but Bradley Cooper did a great job making this film. And of course, it's got Sam Elliott, so you know it's good. Number 3. I don't know anybody that has seen this that didn't like it. Amazing, amazing film. And if the lead actor does not get Best Actor of 2018, then something is wrong. Bohemian Rhapsody takes the number 3 spot. This film was fantastic. I'm not a diehard Queen fan. I don't think you have to be. The Queen fans that I have talked to, they love this film. Music lovers love this film. Everybody I know loves this film. You know why? Because it's a damn good movie. Bohemian Rhapsody. The number 2 film, I think a lot of people are going to disagree with this. That's okay. I'm an action movie lover. Mission Impossible. It's a very well-made film. The action is spectacular. I honestly think this is one of the best in the Mission Impossible franchise. I don't know how they keep doing it, but they're making these films so great. And Tom Cruise just kicked ass. It was a great movie. Excellent filmmaking. Well done. All right. And coming in at number 1, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I don't think this film is for everybody. Everybody I know who has seen it agrees with me as to how amazing, how awesome, how well made this film is. I absolutely love this movie, hands down, without a doubt, more than any film in 2018. And it is Bad Times at the El Royale. Folks, they just don't make movies like this anymore. Everything about this film I loved. The script, the cast, the set design, the music. This movie just had it all. Kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. Kept me interested. Loved the way this film was done. And I loved the cast. Bad Times at the El Royale. Best movie of 2018. And with that, let's bring this to a close. Thank you guys for watching this. All of my subscribers that I have gained this year, I highly appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, if you like what you see, please click that subscribe button. I would love to have your support, and I am most appreciative of those that continue to support and like my videos and leave me comments. Speaking of which, leave me some comments here, guys. Let me know what you thought of this list, and let me know what your list is, what you liked and didn't like. We will see you in 2019. Happy New Year.